Hello guys again. Welcome back for another video tutorial on how to change your character and set up animations within the Unreal Engine 4. Now this video, there's a little bit more to do than opposed to the other videos where we're just setting up health and pickups and damaging the player, etc. But it's not a whole lot different. You just have to sort of understand what state machines are in that and blend spaces, but we'll get to that in a moment. What I want to introduce you to as well is a website called Mixamo, which is actually created by Adobe. And one of the best things about this website is that it's free. It has characters in there, and it also has animations, and it's really good for like student projects or just testing games and game prototypes. So let's get into it. What we're going to do is we're going to import a character from Mixamo. Now it's a free account, you can just set it up yourself. Once you've done that, then you'll go in, you'll browse your characters, and there's a list here. This character that's run the way off screen is what I want to use actually. However, let's just select that for now, because there's a way of doing this. We need to take it in with its skin in order to get what's called a skeletal, a skeleton. So let's just see here. Keep that in place. Animations. We'll start with the T pose just so you know. Okay, so the character that we were looking at, I'll just find him here now. There he is, Demon T. Don't know how to pronounce that, so I don't want to murder it. But anyway, so we use that character. So when you're first importing a character, what you want to do is for the first one, you select your character, go over here on the right hand side, you'll click download. Now you'll want to download that with skin just for the first download. So click download. That's that downloading. And then go into your animations. And what we'll want is an idle animation. So that's for when the player isn't moving. What's happening here? There we go. Nice easy idle animation. There's one there. That'll do lovely. So we download that and then we will select without skin. So while that's downloading, we'll also want to walk and run animation so the player can move around. So walk, type in walk, click enter, or press enter. There's a little bit of swag. So you'll see that the player is actually walking off his spot, and you don't want that, okay? So over on the right hand side, you'll click in place, because the coding in Unreal will actually be moving that character. So if that wasn't in place, he'd be already moving ahead without you touching the directional keys, or without controlling him yourself. So you always want to click in place, okay? Download that, yes, without skin. And then we want a running animation. There's one there. Click in place. And that does for now. So we download that without skin as well. That's brilliant. That's that downloaded. We then go back into our Unreal project. And what we're going to do is to keep everything tidy. Trust me, when you're making a game or anything at all, whether it be a prototype, etc., it can get messy in your content browser. So for good practice, we'll set up a new folder and we'll just call it main C. Main character, yes, so main C. Open this up, and what we're going to do is going to go into my downloads. Okay. There's the model himself. We'll export him in. You don't want to select any skeleton, okay? If we were to select the mannequin, it wouldn't work. We leave that blank in order to import the actual skeleton for this character. So leave that blank, okay? Let's just have a little look here. Everything's all good. Yeah, all good. So we import all. And there we have our character and the material. Brilliant. And then what we want to do is we want to open up another folder inside the main character folder to keep it tidy, and we'll call this main C anims for animations. Okay, click enter. We'll open that up, go back into my download folder. You see we've got the running, walking, and idle. We'll drag that into the game. Now when you do that, up at the top it'll say skeleton. You see now that the demon skeleton for our character is now within the Unreal Engine. We will select that and we will import all. Brilliant. Right. So now all we have to do is go back into the main character folder and we need to set up a animation blueprint. So right click in the content browser, click on animation, scroll over and select animation blueprint. Okay, now here again you must select the proper skeleton, which is the demon one. Click OK, and we'll just name this main C BP for blueprint. And then once that's done, we also need to right click again, go back to animation, scroll over and set up what's called an animation blend space. Click on the skeleton that we want to use, which is demon again, and we'll just name this main C B S, and it's not the BS you're thinking, it's BS for blend space. Blend space is basically how the animation blends from one to another. So say you've got an idle animation and then the character starts to walk. So in order for that to fade in together, it blends, and this is what we're going to set up now. So that's basically what a blend space is. Okay. Now going into here, you can see this already on the T pose. You see you've got everything. That's the main character CBS there. Sorry, the main character blend space, and here is his animations and that. So what we'll do first is we'll go into the animation blueprint. We will right click and we will type in add new state. So we're setting up a state machine. Okay, so we'll double click on new state machine and we'll drag off from entry and we'll type in, we'll click on add state and we'll type in idle. Click enter and we'll double click on idle, and over here on the right hand side you'll see idle. We'll drag that over and we'll link these up and we'll click compile. Now you can see here on the little preview panel there's nothing's happening yet because we're still not quite there. Okay, well, once that's done, you can go back into your state machine and we drag off idle and we add state again, and we'll call this walk run. Okay, now if we double click in here, there's nothing that we can set up here because if we just put running, that will just be one, that'll just be running, and they'll not be walking there either. Okay, so that's no good. What we actually have to do is we have to create an animation blend space for this. So what we'll do is we'll minimize this one for now. We will double click on the animation blend space on the left hand side here. We'll go down where it says axis settings, and where it says horizontal, what I want you to do is I want you to name this direction, and I want you to give it a maximum value of 180. Okay, and then the vertical axis, I want you to rename that to speed, and I want you to give that the maximum speed value of 600. Alright, then what I want you to do is I want you to drag out, so you can see here now you've got speed and you've got direction. Alright, what I want you to do is I want you to drag out idle, put that in the middle, put it in all the bottom axes, just drag it out, just put it there, and then what we'll do is we'll put walking up in the middle and we'll put running up at the top. Okay, so just fill these up. There you go. So remember, all the bottom idle, in the middle walking, and at the top running. Okay, let's click save. Alright, And then go back into your animation blueprint, drag out, you've just created the blend space main character blend space. It's got the direction and speed in there. Join them up together, click compile. Now, it'll give you your direction and speed that you set up in the blend space, okay? What you want to do is, you want to drag off direction and click on promote to variable and do the same for speed. So these are now variables that exist within the game, because we're going to do a little bit of coding here, a bit of scripting, just to make sure that everything's all good. Okay, right, so that's that done. We'll then go into the event graph, and then you can see here you've got your event blueprint update animation. So we need to update the engine to tell it that we've set these new animations up and they have to work accordingly. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to drag off and cast to third person character. Alright, let's make that a little bit bigger. Okie doke. Now, dragging off here, what you want to type in is try get pawn owner. Perfect. Alright, now coming off the third person character, what you want to type in is get velocity. Okay, you leave that there, and then you drag off again, and what you want to type in is get actor rotation. There it is. Perfect. See, rotation is the direction, and velocity can be then changed to speed. So the variables that we created was direction and speed, remember? So we're doing quite well here. It's not a lot to do left to do, sorry. So what we want to do is we want to drag off, or sorry, we want to right click, and we want to type in calculate direction. Perfect. And then it's very self-explanatory. You can see here where it says velocity and base rotation. What you want to do there is you want to join up velocity to velocity, and you want to join up get actor rotation with the base rotation. Okay, and then coming off this, you want to type in set direction Let's make this a little bit tidier. Excuse me, I was just having a little sneeze there. Okay, so join them up accordingly. And then what we want to do is we want to drag off get velocity and type in vector length squared. Alright, and then coming off that, what you want to do is you want to type in set speed, because we created the variable for speed. And then look, all we have to do is join them up, click compile. Should be no issues there at all. And this is what we have. So listen, come back in. Alright, drag off the blueprint animation to cast a third person character, because this is the third person blueprint that we want. Try to get the pawn owner of the object, and then we come off third person character with get velocity and get actor rotation. Then we come off get velocity, sorry, we don't. After we've done the get velocity and get actor rotation, we then right click, type in calculate direction, and then join the velocity up to velocity and the actor rotation up to base rotation. Okay, then when the return value, we come off that and we collect set direction, and we join the third person character node up to the set direction node. Then we come off get velocity and we drag it out and we type in vector length squared. Then we come off vector length squared and we type in set speed and we join those nodes up. We click compile, and that is the scripting done. Okay, now it's still not going to work 100%, okay, because we need to tell the values if they're true or false. So if a player is idle and it moves to walk or run, it needs to know to go back to idle when it's not walking or running. Alright, so that is basically our state machine. Okay, so let me just find it here. There it is. So this needs to come back to here as well. Alright, so obviously if the player's idle, then we move it to walking and running. It needs to know to go back to idle when we stop walking and running. Okay, now in order to do that, what we need to do is we need to set the true and false. So what I do is type in, so right click, type in not, join this up, click compile. I'm just going to copy this and then go back into the state machine, and then for this other one we need to set this to true. Okay, so click compile. That should be the state machine all working in theory. We'll soon find out in a moment. So what we need to then do is we need to go into our third person character. Okay, so third person blueprint, up the blueprints, third person character, into the viewport. Okay, so I was doing a tutorial beforehand, and it was basically it would have been like this, you know, because the game is already set up. So what you do is you go into the viewport in your third person character blueprint, you click on the character, we then go to the mesh, and we'll select the new character that we have imported, which is the demon. There he is in his T-pose. So we scroll up a little bit on the right hand side where it says animation, animation class, so the anim class, and that's the one that we just set up, the main character blueprint. And then we click compile. Oh, I think I have just forgot a little step, and I do apologize. We have to join this up. So don't forget that when you set up your new state machine, you have to join up to the iPod pose, okay? So click compile, and back into the third person character blueprint, and you can see that because I selected, so there was none there, we click compile. He was in his T-pose, if you remember. Then you go to anim class, and we select the main character blueprint, and you can see there that he's now in his idle animation position. Alright, so we click compile. Now, with all being said, this all goes well. So what we're going to do is now we're going to click play within the game, and hopefully, there he is walking. Brilliant. Okay. And he's moving around. All good. And we can see we've damaged him. Let's see if he picks up the health. And he does indeed. We now have a fully functional character within the game that's not the Unreal template mannequin. Okay, so yes guys, it was actually fun doing this one. It was a little bit more to do. Hopefully it was explained all well to you. Beautiful thing about these tutorials is you can pause them and follow along. But yeah, just go into Mixamo, select any character you want, get the animations, import them, and just follow the steps with the animation blueprint, the animation blend space, and that's it. You're all good to go. So if you've any questions, please leave a comment in the comment section. I'll be happy to get back to you. And if you like this video, it'd be nice if you liked and subscribed. And anyways, hope you enjoy your game dev journey and have a good one. Alright, bye for now.